David Bowie died from cancer on January 10, 2016, leaving behind one of the most eclectic catalogs in music history. Let's take a look at what the last 12 months of Bowie's life were like. According to a statement on David Bowie's official Facebook page announcing his death, the musician had been quietly battling cancer for 18 months. This means his health struggle began somewhere in mid-2014, though almost no one outside of his close group of friends and collaborators even knew he was sick. Then again, much about Bowie's life was secret by that point. He'd largely stepped out of the public eye after the 2003 reality tour, which was cut short after a blocked artery forced him into emergency heart surgery. Keyboardist Mike Garson told Rolling Stone, "3/4 through the reality tour, he said, 'You know, Mike, after this tour, I'm just going to be a father and live a normal life.' Bowie stuck true to his word, never embarking on another tour or sitting down for a major interview. It took him a full decade to record another album, 2013's The Next Day. After The Next Day, the floodgates opened. As Rolling Stone notes, he dreamed of writing a musical as a teenager, and he was able to fulfill that goal with Lazarus, a theatrical production based on The Man Who Fell to Earth, a 1963 science fiction novel by Walter Tevis. If that sounds familiar, it's probably because Bowie had previously starred in Nicholas Roeg's 1976 film adaptation of the novel as Thomas Newton, an alcoholic millionaire alien sequestered in his apartment and eager to return home. The production, which ran off-Broadway from December 2015 through January 2016, was crafted around music from Bowie's discography, including classics like Heroes, Life on Mars, Changes, and The Man Who Sold the World. It also featured a quartet of new songs, the title track No Plan, Killing a Little Time, and When I Met You. In the same period, David Bowie Is, a touring museum exhibition featuring artifacts from his life, ran from March 2013 to July 2018. Co-curator Jeffrey Marsh told the New York Times, "The deal was that we could borrow anything from the archive, but that he would have nothing to do with the exhibition." Though David Bowie was mostly focused on creating new music during his final year, he also kept the catalog machine churning. His chart-topping 1983 hit Let's Dance was reissued on limited edition yellow vinyl in July 2015 to coincide with the Australian leg of the David Bowie Is exhibition. And in September of that year, he released 5 Years, 1969 to 1973, a box set compiling early albums David Bowie, The Man Who Sold the World, Hunky Dory, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, Aladdin Sane, and Pinups, among others. Additionally, he offered up his obscure 1995 track No Control to be adapted for the 2016 Broadway musical adaptation of Nickelodeon's SpongeBob SquarePants. David Bowie had re-entered the recording studio by January 2015 to work on another studio album, but fans wouldn't hear the results for another year. However, he did unveil one new song, Black Star, in a rather unconventional way, allowing it to be used as the intro tune for The Last Panthers, a British crime drama. An eerie wash of electronic art jazz, Black Star signaled yet another path forward in the career of an artist who rarely recycled ideas. The smoldering saxophone lines, jagged drum patterns, and quivering vocal vibrato sounded unlike anything else he'd recorded, and the full version released months later only added to the track's grandeur. David Bowie shared his cancer battle with only those closest to him. Producer Tony Visconti told Mojo how Bowie revealed his diagnosis before they started Black Star. David said, "I have something to show you," and he pulled his woolly hat off and he was completely bald, and he said, "I have cancer, and my life hasn't been the same since that moment." Bowie's illness briefly entered a period of remission in mid-2015, but despite the positive signs, the cancer continued to spread and become terminal. According to the documentary David Bowie: The Last 5 Years, he learned that his treatment was going to stop while he was filming his final music video for the song Lazarus. The film also squashed the widely floated interpretation that the video, which features Bowie singing the lyric "Look up here, I'm in heaven" from a hospital bed, is a cryptic nod to his eventual fate. The clip's director, Johan Renck, noted that he conceptualized the visuals before Bowie learned his diagnosis. He beamed a charming smile as he exited a limousine and entered the New York Theater Workshop in early December 2015. David Bowie was on hand for the premiere of Lazarus, and based on the footage and photos from that evening, you'd hardly be aware of his cancer battle. But the show's director, Ivo Van Hove, seemed to imply to the British tabloid The Mirror that he was putting on a brave face for the public. Van Hove stated, "It was written that he looked so well, so healthy, but behind the podium he collapsed from exhaustion. It was then that I realized that it may be the last time I would see him." It's mind-boggling to think that David Bowie, living out his final days with the knowledge of his fate, already sitting on a full new album and a recently premiered musical, wasn't finished. According to Rolling Stone, in the final weeks before his death, Bowie somehow mustered up the strength to record 5 new demos, with ultimate plans of tracking an entire new LP. He reportedly rang up Visconti via FaceTime and detailed his plan, which thrilled the producer. Visconti told the publication, I thought, and he must have thought, that he'd have a few months at least, so the end must have been very rapid. He must have taken ill very quickly after that phone call. Bowie was also reportedly making other musical plans. Guitarist producer Reeves Gabrels told Guitar Player, "According to everyone involved in the Bowie Estate Trust, when David knew he was dying, he left a 5-year plan behind of what he wanted done with his music. Several years on, it's still unclear how much of that plan came to fruition." In one of the most staggering creative moves in music history, David Bowie weaved his own death into the fabric of his art. Black Star, his 25th album, was released on January 8, 2016, and the press piled on with glowing reviews, completely unaware of his condition. 2 days later, he passed away, and suddenly the record's themes, and its very existence, took on an unexpected depth. References to death sprinkled throughout the songs couldn't help but feel prophetic in this new light. He sings on the title track, "Something happened on the day he died. Spirit rose a meter, then stepped aside. Somebody else took his place and bravely cried." We can't know exactly what was in Bowie's head during the Black Star sessions, but mortality seems to have loomed large. And it's hard not to imagine Bowie thinking of the record as a parting gift to those who cherished his work. In a poignant Facebook tribute, Visconti wrote, "He never left us in spirit. We are fortunate to have lived in the same time as him. We've seen him, we've heard him sing and speak, we've hugged him, we've worshipped him, and we are constantly reminded of him daily. He will be a legend until the end of time." Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more grunge videos about your favorite artists are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.